బట్ దాన్ని యూజ్ చేసి
అవంతి నా స్క్రీన్ బ్లర్ చేసుకోలేదు.
Yeah, hi, good morning.
గుడ్ మార్నింగ్ వీరా.
Okay, so shall we start? So any questions on yesterday's topic?
నో వీరా.
So did you practice the creation of public and private servers and connection?
ఎస్.
So you guys are able to connect private server, right? By using Bastion host?
Yes, Veera.
ఎస్ వీరా.
Oh, then okay. Okay, so let me share my screen. Okay, so let me draw the architecture again from the scratch. So yeah, this is VPC. And so public subnet and private server, private subnet. So internet gateway, IG. So here is my laptop. Stack. So here is my developer. So here is my route table. The configuration internet gateway to route table. And route table to subnet. Route table to subnet, yeah. RT, this is IG, internet gateway. So inside subnet, we have created yesterday one server. So also one more server created in the private subnet. So this is private server. Yeah. Copy image. So this is private server and public server. Public server. Private server. Okay. So whenever I try to connect the public server, the request will go directly through internet gateway and route table. Here we can connect the server. And so as we discussed, the private server having only private IP. So the private IP is not possible to connect from external. So as private IP will support only for internal communications. So if you are outside of the network, so you are outside of the network by using internet only. So by using internet only, we have to connect. Okay, so by using internet, we have to connect here. So in this case, in this case, the request will go through route table and public subnet and connect here. So this is not possible like this to connect. The reason this is we don't have any internet to connect directly private server. Private server is completely isolated from the internet gateway. And also in private server, we don't have any public IP to connect. Public IP is enabled to connect from external through internet. So I don't have any public IP, only private IP. So this is not possible to connect like this way. So in this case, as we discussed, the private IP will supports, the private connection will supports only from the internal request only. In this case, I'm using the public server to connect the private server. So this is called bash and host. Excuse me. So bash and host also same like how you are going to connect the public server, same process here also. So here to connect the public server, so we have to connect the public IP and SSH protocol and a private key to connect the public server. The same options, okay, the same option to connect even private server also. But private server, if you use the in place of private IP here, it is not possible to connect from external since we are not inside of the network. So yes. So same process here also, but here the difference is from here to here, from here to here. Just understand now after connect the server, your developer after connect the public server. So the developer he's moved to inside the network. Understand like this. So now he is here. So in this case, so definitely we can connect from here to private server since the request is inside of the network only, inside of the VPC. So now I'm trying to connect from here to here in this case. So to connect from here to here, so we need a private IP of the server, not like public IP here. Private IP of the server and SSH protocol and private key of the server. So which private key? This server private key. This server public key already stored inside. So this server private key you need to upload into this server. So if you can see here, my key, my private key of the public server stored in my laptop. Here only there. So my private key is here. Okay, my private key is here. So my private key is here. So my private key is inside my laptop. So I've just uploaded while connecting the public server. So this public server key is there here. So that this server is able to authenticate this request, the public server key and the public key and private key both can handshake and enable the request authentication. Same process. Now the source is here and target is here. And next time this is number one, you can consider the request number one. Request one. Now request one completed, you are entered into the public server. Now request two here. So request two, same process. Here also we need to update this public server related private key you have uploaded while connecting time. So the private key is there in my local laptop. Respect to public is there in the server. And also private server also created. Respect to public key also same, there in the private server. The respect to private key, you need to update into the source server. The source server is here, right? So you need to update this public key from the respect to private key into the source server. So this is request 2. Request 1 is public key already there inside the server. So the same server, I'm uploading the private key. The respect to public key is there in the target server. So the private key, the public key both can handshake, and this request will move to here now. So you are able to connect the private server. So this is the process, the connecting of the private server. Okay. So let's move and discuss now here. First, I'm going to connect the public server. Same, while connecting the public server, the respect to public server private key having in my laptop, so that I'm updating from here. So let me take a public IP. Yeah, here. So I'm uploading private key from the local laptop. So I'm connecting EC to user now. So my request is travel. My request is enter here. Now you are here inside the public server. See, I'm inside the public server now. So I'm inside the public server means I'm inside the network now. I'm not inside my laptop now. I'm inside the network. See, if I give ls, I can see my inside the network configurations. So to connect the target server, my target server is private server. So to connect the private server, you should be inside the network. Yes, I'm inside the network now. In that case, private IP is allowed to connect. Okay, that is okay. Endpoint is clear. And next point is what? Authentication. When the target server is allowed your request, if you update the target server private key into the source server only. So this is source server. So I have already uploaded the private key yesterday. So this private key is enables the authentication to the next target server. The target server and already there the respective public key. So that if you connect now, you can able to connect. So how to connect? So we have a connect SSH client connect option is there, right? Yes, you can take this and you can run this. Yes. See, I have connected private server now. So now I'm here. Okay, now I'm here. So now you can start your deployment. This is the process. So in the real time, our application should run in private server only, not public server. In this case, how to deploy a application in private server, how to connect? By using bash in host process. How to connect? First connect the public server and private server. So any questions till here? Any questions from anyone?
No, Veera, I'm good.
Okay.
I have a question, Veera.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, while connecting to the private server, I think you copied the public connect SSH command, I
Yeah.
think.
Yes. I have given this one.
Yeah, we have to
Okay,
give
no problem.
private,
No
right?
problem. Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay, okay. You can exit from here. Okay. Again, I'm into the public server here only. See, sorry, wrongly I have given. No problem. Yeah. So I'm here now. 10.0.120 public server. Let's go and check 10.0.120, right? Let me run the private server SSH client. Okay. So I'm into
Even
the
though if you
private.
give public SSH command, it will log into the private?
No, it is not like that. It is login into the same server again.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Got it.
see, I'm here only. Again, same server request.
Thank you.
Yeah, so now I'm inside of the private server. So I can start my deployment here. I can start my deployment or I can copy my code from GitHub to here. So whatever I can do it. For example, usually developer push the code into GitHub. We'll discuss what is GitHub and all anyway. That is remote repository. So now to clone the code from the GitHub, definitely if I run m install, first of all, I need to install Git in my server to clone the code. Sudo m install git-y. So command is to install any packages. We have to give m install. If it is a Amazon Linux, if it is a Ubuntu, we have to give apt get install or apt get update commands. In the Linux class, we will discuss. So if I give sudo m install git-y means, so I'm trying to install Git, but the private server, there is no any internet to install the Git here. In this case, what I need to do? So definitely cancel the request here. So I'm inside of the private server. See 10.0.2.122. Exit from here. So I'm in now public server 10.0.120. So if I run the same command, sudo m install git-y. This is just command to install the Git. So I'm able to install the Git since I'm running this command inside the public server. Public server having internet, if you can see here, public server having internet so that I'm able to install the Git. But private server, there is no internet. That's what I'm unable to install the Git. So in this case, how I can connect the internet? So in this purpose, we are going to work. We're going to create a NAT gateway. So I should already discuss, right? NAT gateway allows only single direction. So here is my server. Yeah, here is my server. So here is my clients, users, whatever, or public. You just understand public. The public is trying to connect the server from external internet. So here NAT gateway will not allow. NAT gateway blocks the ingress, incoming traffic. NAT gateway allows only outgress traffic. So server can take the internet from here, but not others can take the internet from here. So it will block inbound. So this is NAT gateway. So in this case, I'll just use this NAT gateway for to get internet for my server. So if you use the internet, may others can connect your server. So in that case, my NAT gateway allows only unidirectional, not bidirectional. So unidirectional. So only one direction it will allow, server end only, not for public end. So same thing. So if I create a NAT gateway, if I put NAT gateway here, for example, the request is come to like access, it is not possible. So it will block inbound traffic here. But internet gateway allows bidirectional. It will allow inbound and outbound both. So in this case, okay, we have to create a NAT gateway, but where we need to, where we can put the NAT gateway, either public server or private, public subnet or private subnet. For example, if I put my NAT gateway here, first of all, if I put NAT gateway into the private server, so your private subnet, there is no internet. In this case, your NAT gateway also, there is no internet. If you connect NAT gateway also, since NAT gateway no internet, so there is no use to access your private server. There is no internet. So that's what always our NAT gateway should be placed into public subnet only. Okay, public subnet only. So whenever you can place the public subnet, your NAT gateway is enables the internet. So now your NAT gateway also internet is there. Okay, your NAT gateway also internet is there. In this case, how to route the traffic from here to here? So the NAT gateway internet is there means I can use the internet from the NAT gateway. Why you are using NAT gateway internet to access the internet? Can you use internet gateway? So if I use internet gateway routing, so internet gateway allows bidirectional. So outside public can access your server and you can also access the internet. So this is not at all recommended. Since private means no one can access me directly until I give the access. In that case, but I need internet. I can use the internet. In this case, which device? Is there any device to allows only my request is enabled, others request is blocked? In this case, that device is NAT gateway. So whenever I can use the NAT gateway, I can route the traffic here to here. When server required, can take the internet from here and I can install required packages. Others can try to connect the internet like this way. So it will block in this direction. In this case, towards the NAT gateway, it will blocks, towards the server only it will enable. So this is outbound, egress traffic. Egress traffic only it will allows. So ingress is blocks. So in this case, I can use the internet like this way, but to route the internet, okay, NAT gateway is there. To route the connection, we cannot route directly. So what we can do here, we have to use some again routing table. To use again, we need to use the routing table. So the route table, we have to create one more route table. Okay, so we have to create one more route table to route the traffic. So to route the traffic from internet gateway server, we have created a route table. So same process, if you want to route the traffic from NAT gateway to server, we have to create a one more route table. So this is private route table, not public route table. So RT, this is private RT. So this is public RT. This is public means directly connected to internet gateway, public request or public RT. This is private RT. Now again, creating route table is a task number 1. So let me write the steps here. Allow internet private server by using NAT gateway. So the step number 1, first step number 1, create NAT gateway. And place it into public subnet or attached to public subnet. Step number 1. And next step number 2, create private route table. I mean, create route table only. So in bracket private. And next, same, route the traffic. Route the traffic from. So NAT to route table. NAT to RT. And next, route the traffic route the traffic RT to private subnet. So here RT means private RT. Same process for like public subnet. How we are routing public, see internet gateway to route table and route table to public subnet. Same process, but private server to access internet in place of internet gateway, it will be access like a, it will be accessed from NAT gateway. That's it on the same process. So this is also private. Okay. So now, so looks good now. So let me enable the routing here. First routing is for NAT gateway to RT, and next is for RT to private subnet. So this is a process. So again, let me give the steps like internet gateway. The first is creation of NAT gateway, and next is creation of route table, and next is provide the routing. Number 3, and next is provide the routing for 4. So make sure these 4 steps you have to enable for internet gateway. Okay, let's connect the enable this process in the practical. Let's go to VPC. Right click here, or you can search in the VPC here directly. So right click on the VPC, open here. Okay, so in the VPC block only we can see internet gateway, NAT gateway and all. So in the last class we have created internet gateway, right? Now we are going to create a NAT gateway. Why you are creating NAT gateway? To use the internet for your private server only. But bash node process is not required for NAT gateway. Bash node process is for connection process. Once you are connected, if you have a code or if you are going to develop, you can develop. Otherwise, connect the NAT gateway and install the Git and you can clone it. And before that, if you want to run your code inside the server, you need to install the required packages and all something. For example, if you want to run Python code inside the server, you have to be install Python inside the server, right? Like our laptop. To install the Python, you should have internet first. In that case, we should create a NAT gateway and configure the private server to the NAT gateway and develop your code and install required libraries and packages and run the server. So now, yes, my server is ready. Everything is ready. I need internet to download some packages. Okay. So let's go now. NAT gateway process. Create NAT gateway. And here, my custom NAT gateway. So subnet. I think this is private subnet. Has to be created. Sorry, you have to give public subnet here, not private subnet. So if you can see this architecture, please you also practice like this one. There is no any confusions if you draw the architecture. So NAT gateway should be in the public subnet. My public subnet name is public subnet 1. So subnet 1 is my public subnet actually created. So we need to allocate elastic IP, guys, for NAT gateway. So elastic IP is a static IP. So to connect the NAT gateway for this to connect the request for the private server, so the allocate elastic IP is important here. But once you complete the task, delete immediately for the NAT gateway. It is chargeable. Elastic IP not comes under free tier. NAT gateway also not comes under free tier. You have to be deleted after complete the lab. Okay. The step number 1 completed NAT gateway. And next I need to create a private route table. Let's create a route table now. Create a route table. So my custom private route table. And select the VPC here. My custom VPC. Route table creation done. So step number 2. 1 and 2. Now provide the routing here to here and here to here. So to here, we have to go for edit route. Same like here to here, we have to go for edit routes like, let me write here edit routes. Here also edit routes. But edit routes is for here private route table, not public route table. Edit routes is for here public route table. Process is same. I'm inside the private route table now. Now click on the edit routes. Add a route. So you can give the internet. So here you need to connect NAT gateway, not internet gateway. Connect the NAT gateway. Click on the NAT. See, you can able to see your NAT gateway here. Created one. Click on this. Save changes. So again, same process. So step 3 done, now 4. So till route table internet is coming. But whenever you can connect the private subnet only, internet can use the private server. Okay. Just a minute, guys. Okay, sorry guys. Okay, see here. Yeah, I have routed the path from here to here. The next path is here to here. So route table to public subnet, we have enabled subnet association. Same private route table to private subnet, we have to enable subnet association. Let's go here. Yeah. So I have enabled the route table, my private route table routing from NAT gateway to route table. Now I need to click on the subnet association, same like public process. Edit the subnet association, but here you need to go private subnet, not public subnet. So internet is required for private subnet, not for public subnet. Save. Okay, all done the process. Now you can go to here. So connect the private server from here. How to connect? SSH command we have read, SSH-I private key something. So otherwise take from there in the private server the command. So click on the private server to connect the command. Connect, go to SSH client. SSH client. If you give public IP in place of private IP, you can connect public server also. If the key is matching. Same process. This command is to connect either public server or private server from the command prompt or terminals. So I'm taking this command now. Run this. So connected private server. See, I'm inside of the 122 private server. So this is private server only. Yeah, I'm inside of the private server. Okay, let's try to install now. Let's wait. Yeah, see, I'm able to install Git only, right? So now internet is coming now. Internet is using. So previously I'm unable to install the Git. Now I'm able to install Git. Since you are in the private server, there is a NAT gateway is providing internet to do this task. So for example, in my end Git is I'm able to means I can run the git clone command to clone my code from the GitHub repository. For example, so my code is here. Let's take here. Okay, take any one of the repository here. So for example, my code is here, my code is here. So you just take this, any one of the code. For example, I develop the Python code and push it into GitHub. Now I'm going to clone from here to my server. Let's go to my server now inside. Sorry, I'm here, the mobile system, right? So if we can give means See, I'm able to clone my code. Now, if I can see ls, my Python code is there. I switch to Python code here. So ls, if I try to run Python code, python.app.py. If you want to run Python code, you have to give like this only. Python is not there. Again, you need to install Python. Let me try with yum install sudo yum install Python 3 version. I'm going to install. We'll see. Okay, resolved now. So now you can run same code by using Python 3 version. Anyway, there is some error inside the Python code. Whatever it is, see if the code is correct means you are able to run the code. If you are able to run the code, the application is able to run the. If you are able to run the application means inside application will run. If application is run means you have to give access to public. Now we need to understand the point is very important here. Okay, all good now. So my application also running. You can understand maybe you have implemented Flipkart application, just understand purpose. Your Flipkart is running. Then how to give access to public? Okay. These are the steps. I configure anyway. Now your application is running fine, guys. But how to give access this application to public? Here is the point. So private server, if it is a public server, you can give the public IP directly, they can access. But this is not a public IP, this is a private server. Means private IP only. If you give private IP to public, for example, let's take the users here. Yeah, take the users group here. Okay, so my users are here. So if your development got done, your users are ready to access your application. In this case, so this is not sufficient. If you give private IP, no one can access. He is not inside of the external. He is not inside of the network. He is external. In this case, it will not allow to access your private server inside the application. So how we can overcome this challenge now? So we have a concept in AWS or in Azure and GCP also, load balancer. Concept is load balancer. So the load balancer only inside of the VPC only, just I'm writing here. So whenever you can configure your load balancer with your private server, you can give the load balancer to access to public. So the load, whenever you can configure a URL load balancer, you will get load balancer URL. Okay, this load balancer enables to this URL you can share to public. So they can access the load balancer, and load balancer is routing the, load balancer is redirecting the request to private server. So it will take the request and give back to the public. Like this, they can access. Now, if you are accessing Flipkart or Amazon, those applications also runs in private server only. But how we can access? By using load balancer. So we are using some reverse proxy to take our request to private server again. Okay, this is the process. Okay, clear here? Any questions? So we have to configure load balancer next to access the private server.
Yeah, clear, Veera.
Any questions?
No, Veera, it's clear.
Avanti, any questions?
It's clear, Veera.
Okay, great. Okay, so let's go now. Yeah. So we need to understand this. If your application runs on public server, you can give the public IP to public. So public can connect, access your server inside application. But application we have to put into the private servers only for security concerns. In that case, if application runs on private server, then how you can give access to users? By using load balancer. Okay, so let me access sample HTML application, install sample HTML application here. So the installation of, to develop the HTML application, so we need some proxy server, web server, that is Apache web server. So the Apache web server is allows to connect from UI. So if I go to Flipkart, for example. So guys, this is my web UI, web interface. Okay, this is my web interface. So if you click on the mobiles, the request is redirecting into the background application. Okay, and the application will gives you the database information. For example, if I click Vivo, so you are accessing web interface. You are getting information from database. So database is nothing but stores the data, stores the products data. So my mobile's data already stored in my Flipkart database, not my Flipkart database. So to access the data from Flipkart database, so database not understands human language, first of all. So database gives the response to query language. We don't know how to run the query to get the data from database. If you know also, that is not at all correct process. If you are able to run query to connect the database, means you can run the query to get, you can take anything from the database. But so here, what I'm trying to say here, we have a DB here, database. So inside data, we can store. To retrieve the data, we are using some application code, Python or Java. That application, we are going to run in application server. Application means we have to write into the Python or Java and something. Python, Java and something. So if you write this language, so the Python Java can connect the database and get the data to application server. But application server also private. So no one can connect directly. So application server can understand application language only. So if you want to get the data from the database, you have to write a Python code. So we don't know how to write a Python code, right? We need some interface. If I give some clicks, the request has to go application server. The application server has, as per the my click, it has to redirecting to database server. So this is called the front end is web server. So this web server interface between user and application. So for example, my user is here. Yes, my users. Yeah, my user is here. So user, we have to provide the dashboard is very friendly dashboard, right? So for that web server, user directly communicate to web server only, web UI, web interface. Whenever I give my request, web server is redirecting to the application server where we write the Python code or Java code to connect the database. From this request, application server convert. Okay, I'm getting the request from the user to purchase a mobile. In your end, mobile stock is there. Database will give to application server. Yes, take this stock. Okay, application server will give back to web server. Web server will give to the UI. So in this process, this is called three-tier architecture. One is for web server, application server, DB layers. So here, this is web server. This is app server, means application server. This is database server. The meaning of this, the three servers are, so if you install web server inside the EC2 instance, this is web server. Now, what is this server? Just empty server only. Simple server. If you install web server inside the server, it is a web server. If you install the application inside Python or Java, this is application server. If I install database here, this is database server. Okay. Now, So to provide the web interface, user interaction from the user to application or database. So first we have to create a web layer. So this web layer, so we are going to implement the languages are HTML or Java CSS. So we have so many languages to support a web server, I mean front-end layer. And back-end layer is app layer is Python, Java. So we have a Python, Java also frameworks we have for the web server also. Just understand here. The database is nothing but MySQL, Postgres, SQL, like this. We have a different database flavors. So now, so the web server supports HTML language, right? So we'll write some HTML application here. To write HTML application, we need to install some web server. Web server is nothing but to redirect the request from user to your HTML. So we have a different web servers. Apache. Okay, Apache web server is a popular one. So this Apache web server runs your HTML application and takes and give the access to the public. So if you write HTML application, if you host this HTML application to the web server, this web server gives the request to users. So user can easily connect your server with help of Apache. So in this case, what I can do, I will install one Apache web server inside my EC2 instance and write a sample HTML application, and I will give the access to the public. This is my agenda now. So, so I'm going to exit from private server just for understanding. Exit from private server. So I'm inside of the public server now. So to install Apache web server, we have some command install httpd-y. Here httpd is nothing but Apache web server. The extension of Apache web server, the name is httpd in Amazon Linux. If you want to install the same Apache web server in Ubuntu server, you have to give, in place of httpd, you have to give Apache 2. Anyway, I'm installing the Apache web server. Okay, command not run in EC2 user, so we have to run in super user sudo. Okay, my Apache web server installation done. So let me write the steps, how to install and all. Here I'm writing. The first step is install httpd-y. The first step is, so install httpd-y to install Apache web server to give the access to public interaction user interface. Apache web server will provide user interface to public. Okay, Apache. Okay, anyway. The next step is, okay, installation done. The next step number 2. So to install the path of the Apache web server, we have a default path. If you can see here, default path of Apache web server. So this is the default path of Apache web server. If you want to write any HTML application, you have to go inside the path only. Apache web server can take the request directly. So in this case, this path will create after install the Apache web server only. This is inside Apache web server path. Okay, let's come now. I'm going to switch to that path. How to switch that path? Using cd command. Cd var www html. So this is the path where we can post the application inside the Apache web server. Now I'm inside the Apache web server. Whenever you can go this path, you are inside of the Apache web server. So if I give ls, nothing is there. You have to write some application here. How to write? By using vi command. If any application, if any page you want to write and start, you have to give the vi command. In Linux class, we'll discuss, we'll plan 1 or 2 classes. So, and if you want to write any sample file of HTML, the default file name is index.html for sample HTML application. Why HTML application? This is web interface. So we have to write index.html. This is a common page name, index.html. It will take you into this page here. So you can write simply your content here, or if you want to copy from any sample HTML application, you can copy. Just for understanding, sample HTML application you can take here from we have a website 33 schools. So provides the sample HTML applications. You can take any Okay, this is my sample HTML application. So HTML is nothing but there is a headers only, heading and all. Okay, if you can take the copy from here. So if you run this, this is the output. So you can change here. If you want to change here the content, this is DevOps training, for example, if I give like this. Okay. Whatever, if you can give like this, if you run, you can see DevOps training and something. Okay. So like that, if you can take here the copy and you can go here inside your path, sorry, in the mobile stem, just paste it like this only. After insert, give insert and paste it, and again give escape. How to save this file? Give escape and give colon and give W, Q and exclamation and enter. Okay, let's Q and quit. I'm not saving here. The reason I'm inside the EC2 user, right? So it will not allow to save the file. You have to give sudo before. You can run all commands inside the root user also, no problem. Now you can give insert. The first command is insert and go to that, copy this code and paste it now and escape WQ and enter. Now it is okay. So let's go to write the steps now again. The second step is we have to switch to path, default path of Apache, where www and HTML. So default path of the server. Apache. Okay, done. And next, create a file VI. To create a new file and along with the content, you have to give edit VI command. VI and my file name is index.html. So it will open page and write it, give any sample. Give any sample application. Okay, give any sample app. Okay, and next is once you update the sample app, so we have to give escape. There is escape, right? Give escape and give colon WQ in this command to save and quit the file. Okay, till here we are done. And next step is, so very important step is here. Whenever you write the application, so we have to start the Apache web server. To start the Apache web server, we have a command systemctl start HTTPD. My Apache web server is HTTPD, right? Access denied. So give the sudo before. I have started the Apache web server. You can check the status by giving status. See, my Apache web server is inactive. Apache HTTP server is inactive. Okay, so Apache server works on HTTP protocol to give the request. So whenever you can hit the, so for example, Flipkart or Amazon, we have some protocol right here. So this is a protocol. So this is HTTPS, but HTTPS, we have to enable some certificate and all SSL certificate and all to enable HTTPS, but we can work with HTTP just for internal applications only. Okay. So now I have started the server and let's write the step to start the server. Systemctl start HTTPD to start the server. Next, systemctl status HTTPD to check the status. If you want to stop, you can use systemctl stop the server status. And one more command is there, systemctl enable HTTPD. The request, it will communicate with main EC2 server. Okay. The reason, if you run systemctl enable HTTPD, guys, systemctl enable HTTPD. Okay, sudo, it is redirecting into the bin, EC2 bin. See, it is redirecting into the EC2 bin. The reason, for example, my Apache web server is running inside the public instance only, not private instance. I'm installing it to the public server. Okay, let me log in here. Okay, so my public server is running here, right? If I stop my public server, public EC2 server, inside my Apache web server is running. Apache web server is helped to take the request from external by using HTTP protocol. In this case, if I stop the server, my Apache web server also stop. If I start the EC2 instance again, Apache web server will not start automatically. If you you have to log in your EC2 instance by using connect or mobextem, whatever, and start the server again, systemctl start HTTPD. But if this Apache web server want to communicate with EC2 instance, whenever you can stop the EC2 instance, whenever you can start the EC2 instance, at the same process, your HTTPD will also, Apache web server also start along with the EC2 instance and stop along with the EC2 instance. No need to start again and again, go inside and out. For that, we have to give enable command. It is communicate with always EC2 status. If it is stop, it will stop. If it is start, it will start like that. Okay, this is very important. Okay, and next is, okay, my server is running fine. Now let's go and so access the server. To access the server, we have a public IP, right? If you go and hit now, yeah. So if you observe here, my request is HTTP. By using HTTP protocol, the external request, I'm able to access the EC2 instance by using HTTP protocol. In this case, always the default protocol is HTTP. In this case, my instance is running and enable some security group right here. If you can see, the security group enables only 22 protocol. There is no any HTTP protocol. So we have to click on the security group here of your EC2 instance. As we know, it is a blocks the request, unauthorized request, right? So yes, I'm okay. I'm going to enable the request HTTP protocol for anyone. Anyone can access the server. Source is anyone. If you give my IP means my laptop only can access. I'm giving anywhere. So if the request is coming from anywhere by using HTTP protocol, allow it. Okay, now you can refresh. See, I'm able to access the response. Yeah, I'm able to access the, okay, spelling is wrong. Anyway, I'm able to access the response, right? So again, you can go to your application path. See, here is the application, right? Here, ls. Again, open vi index.html. So give insert I to type anything. Okay, anyway, quit here again, sorry. So you have to give sudo. Otherwise, we are unable to save the application. So you are inside now, give insert I. Press I to insert any content here. So I'm giving here AWS also, AWS and DevOps. Okay. Again, escape, colon, WQ, exclamation, enter. So no need to start the Apache web server. It is already in starting mode. Okay. No need to start. Simply you can come and refresh the screen here. So AWS also coming. So this is user interface, your user and web server. Okay. Okay. This is fine. The reason my application is running inside the public server, so that I can give the public IP to the public, they can access. But in the real time, we are not supposed to run applications inside this public server from the security concerns. So definitely your application should run in private server only, here only. In this case, how to connect private server? Again, the same process by using bastion host. Okay. A private EC2 run this command. Okay, I'm inside of my public server, right? So let's go to one step back. Home path, inside only private key is there. Inside home path only private key is there. ls, yes, my private key is there. Now you can run the command to connect the private server. I have entered into the private server. Again, same process. The process is to install Apache web server to host the application and all. So quickly I will do in 2 minutes. Sudo m install. Application should not run in public server. It should be in the private server. So that's what I'm installing HTTPD. So I'm able to install HTTPD. The reason my private server having internet by using NAT gateway. Okay, fine. Now go to path. This is the default path to host the application. Fine. Sorry. Typo mistake. Yeah, I'm inside HTML. You have to write any application. The default name of the page is via index.html, but you have to give sudo here, otherwise it will not save the file. So you can write any application. You can write in the HTML language, or you can write any directly. You can write also. So this is my. You can give anything here like this, or this is my private server and all. So to save, escape, :WQ, exclamation. Yes, done, right? Next step is what? systemctl. To start again, you have to give sudo systemctl. Start HTTPD server. Okay. Okay. Server is not found. Okay. ls system. Okay, let's give HTTPD directly. Sudo HTTPD already running. Okay. systemctl status HTTPD. Okay, already running. So I'm in the private server or public server? Let's go and check. Yeah, I'm in the private server. Cool. Okay, server already running here. So now the problem is in the private server, your Apache web server already running. Inside some application also there. My application is what? Via index.html. If you can, this is my application. This is private server. Public server already completed the hosting of the application. Now the problem is here. The public server, you can simply give access of the public IP they can access. But how you can give access this application to public, since it is a private server, there is no public IP. So if you give private server, for example, this is the private IP, right? So so if you can give copy here, and if you give to private IP here, so it is not possible to access private IP. Anyway, let's go and click on the private server. So if you can give private IP here to access, it is not possible to access private server, since the request, it allows only from the internal only. You are not internal, you are external now. So how it can access? It is not possible to access, since it is a private server. In this case, in the regular practice of application should be run in the private server, then how you can give access to the public? So we use load balancer. So we have to configure this load balancer with the private IP and give access to the users. So users can access by using load balancer. Load balancer redirect the request to private IP. So this is the process. So, and the next class on Monday, I will show you how to configure load balancer with the private server, how to give access to the public. So we can see.
Veera, one small doubt.
by adding load balancer to the private subnet, then it acts, then it works like a bidirectional, right? What is the difference between internet gateway and load balancer?
Yeah, good question. Anyway, so you need to understand one thing here. My load balancer should be there in public subnet, not private subnet. So the request to access the user, the load balancer should be in the public subnet. See, we need to understand one thing. When the private IP will give the access to the anyone, if the request is coming from inside only. In this case, here load balancer work like a reverse proxy, like a proxy. For example, let's show you here. Okay, you have a VPC, right? So this is my load balancer. To create a load balancer should be their public subnet. So in this case, this is my public subnet. Okay, and your application should be there inside private subnet. So private subnet inside private server is there. So this is LB, load balancer. So users are here. To access the request, we need some public platform. So public subnet inside the public load balancer is there. Load balancer is there. So whenever you can configure the load balancer with the EC2, you will get one URL. You can share the URL to public. So public can access the load balancer URL, but the background load balancer is redirecting the request to the private server. Even users don't know my application is running on which server. So completely hiding this process to public. So users can know only load balancer URL only. Load balancer is redirect the request to the multiple private servers. And this load balancer is not a server. It's a service, redirecting service only. If it is server, you can think others may connect the server to hack the private, but it is not a server, it is a service. Just redirecting the request to private server. Clear? Any questions still? And so this is user's point of view, right? To connect the private server to host the application, you need again public server to get the to connect the private server. So both are different actions. To create a load balancer required public subnet. To connect the bash host, we need a public server. Anyway, in Monday class, I will show you in the clear. So maybe if I show here, may you confuse, the topics are more here. So till here we can focus anyway. Till here you can focus load balancer. I will take care in the Monday class in detail.
Okay.
Any questions?
No, Veera. I'm
No,
clear.
Veera. I'm clear.
No.
Okay, you all are in same office. Looks like you are in office.
Yes, we are.
Okay, then you can work like a team. If you're facing any issues, so internally you can connect and rectify the issues, right?
Yeah, we are doing that.
Oh, great. Then, okay, so what I can plan now? So after complete the load balancer and auto scaling concepts are there, I will give the one complete document by adding the screenshots also. The screenshots maybe if you stuck anywhere, just open the document, just go through the steps. If you block anywhere, you can see the step of the document. You can rectify the issue. Like that I will plan, I will give you after complete the load balancer and auto scale.
Okay, sure, Veera.
Okay, then, so, okay, my end I'm clear. I hope you are also clear. Okay, let's meet on Monday. So we don't have any class tomorrow, right?
No.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I think, yes. Okay, anyway, so next class will be on Monday. So happy weekend to all. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Bye.
thank you, Veera.
Thank you, Vera.
Bye. Yeah.